तुल्यन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्से नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I think yesterday we had covered till 12th verse. Yes, Prabhus. So I think we had just finished this one. The section is Sati. She's seeing her father performing different Vajpayee Yagya and other things. And she is interested to take part in that. And she is requesting Lord Shiva. This is action. What is action? Yeah. Daksha Yagya. Talks between Lord Shiva and Sati, third chapter. So Sati tries to convince Lord Shiva to attend the sacrifice. That is 1 5 to 14. 1 to 3. First question of Maitreya. Vidura is answered by Maitreya. Why there was a dissension? Second question. What is the reason for Sati's death? So she is Duitra Vatsala. And Lord Shiva is Charachara Guru. So what happened that Sati had to die? So that went on 1 to 4. So 5 to 14, Sati is seeing different arrangements. Upadeva, Deva, Gandharva, Kinnara, somebody who's related to Lord Shiva, Daksha, are not related. All of them are trying to go. Where they are going? They are going for a visiting Daksha, Vajpayee. So that is 5 to 14. Sati tries to convince Sita, Shiva, to attend a sacrifice. And Shiva explains why they shouldn't attend from 15 to 20. Yes. So what all Sati discussed? It is your father-in-law's sacrifice. All the demigods are going, also going. My sisters and their husbands will be there. We will also go. I desire to meet my relatives. We can receive gifts presented by my parents. Longing to meet my sisters, aunts, and mothers. Want to see glorious sacrifice. Don't have ideal expectations from me because I am a normal conditioned soul. Sati is telling to Lord Shiva. You might be Shiva. You are a Devata. You are a Lokpal, but I am a woman. I don't know you completely. See other women going with husbands. You protected everyone by drinking poison during Samudra Manthan Lila. Festivity visible in sky. So one can go to relative's house without invitation also. So natural for a daughter. And you are merciful. You have saved so many living entities. This time you can just forget this insult which Daksha has done. So be merciful unto me. Lord Shiva's response. You can go to friend's house uninvited if they don't find fault with you. But the six opulences, which should make a person humble, spoils the head of the person. Like a milk, although it nourishes, but one drop of poison makes the whole milk poison. So words of relatives are much more painful than the enemy's words. I am his favorite daughter. He will not be harsh to me, but he is tormented by your relation with me. Well, he is Dvitra Vatsala, but he doesn't hate you, but he hates me because you are connected to me. He will hate you also. You hate him. This is what Sati is telling. No, he is envious of my superior position. Therefore, he hates me. Then she is asking, you should have stood up at least. Intelligent people respect super soul within. Why not stand up? Super soul in Daksha too. That time Shiva says that I was respecting. I was meditating on Lord in my heart. When I'm meditating with Lord in my heart, automatically I'm also respecting Lord. Daksha is also respected. So please don't go. He insulted me. You go, humiliation and death will take place. Hmm? This is what it is, this section of Daksha. I think we should pause here with this third canto. Correct? I was told yesterday, our Vaj Hari Prabhu and our Jagannath Govind Prabhu and Ahuja Mataji. Actually, BVRV has allotted this group as a primary teacher. Have been very, very lenient to that extent that people are not joining, logging in, and they want to write exam. They don't want to switch on videos. There is no issue with it. You want to preach, you want to attend council meetings, there's no issue with it. But we have some norms in Bhakti and Raj Vidyalaya. I just request, suddenly just before the session starts, I get a WhatsApp, Prabhuji, I have to go. No issue going outside. Please here recording, no attendance. No video, no attendance. That in third canto, I just encourage all of you. But I'm going to tell all teachers. You might be having all services. Even the teachers who are there, they're also having many services. And we are not only thing what BVRB is getting is we are getting to render service to our community. Why is it not that Brahmachari is having time and they're sitting and they want this thing. There are so many batches going on. There are so many services in temple. So to the degree we take it very seriously, to that degree we will be beneficial to us. And if you don't take it very seriously, then I'll just close this whole batch with third canto. Then you can write mail to Amshudan to connect it to Radhesham to. I have all the attendance, I have all the videos, screenshots. I kept everything ready with you. So everything I have. So there is no reason that they will ask us to continue with this. अगर सीधे उंगली से घी नहीं निकलता है तो टेढ़ा करना पड़ेगा. तो हम कोई घी नहीं निकालेंगे, हम सिर्फ यहीं पे थर्ड कैंटो में इसको पॉज कर देंगे. What do you feel? Somehow Rishi Kumar was joining fourth canto beginning. He is so eager, but it will be happening that only with 1-2 classes his whole desire to study fourth canto will get over. So all of you can tell because we have only these devotees. One, Ahuja Mataji, then Bajhari Prabhu, Jagannath Govind Prabhu, Ramkishore Prabhu and Mataji, Sachindan Mataji, Suryakant Krishna Prabhu. I think he's not. I'm not able to see Suryakant Krishna Prabhu there. Somebody is wearing specs sitting. Okay, Prabhuji is walking. I think Mataji is there. Yes, Brajgori Mataji, you are there in specs, no? Okay, no issue, no issue. Rishi Kumar Prabhu.
Yes.
Parmeshwari Mataji, I think today you are on some other trip. Chirumani Radhika Mataji. So this is open forum. because all the teachers who come, they have their own projects, they have their own services. They have to take 2 to 4, 2:30 to 4:30. That means Saturday, Sunday. Their own yatras, their own preaching programs, they have to compromise for a month. And when I invite them and we see number 5, number 4, and with that with videos of, and the next time they tell probably it's a very feeble interest. So all of you can tell me what we should do with this batch. If you want good teachers, then IBM is there. Whatever teachers we have with that, we want to continue them. We have some norms. You can only suggest what better we can do. So this is from my side. Matlab, going on, I just kept in front of you. I don't know what is from your side. So well, I'm just trying to keep it in front of you. Let's discuss the some work and we'll try to work out with how we can serve you better, and we can hear all of your concerns also, by which we can understand how to proceed with this. Is a timing issue? Should we make it in morning so that in the afternoon time we can go to preaching programs 11:30 to 1:30?
Probably, sometimes, the counseling meeting comes in
No.
this time.
Yeah, no, that is
And,
clear. Yes, please.
and then, especially trip वगैरह when it is there, then it becomes, difficult, or even meeting.
Yeah, probably trip is
So
finalized how many days before?
trip was finalized, I think, 2-3 weeks.
1 week, 1 month.
Wow, 2-3 weeks.
It can, so
But
one mail can be sent to Kanagesh Prabhu, keeping in CC, Kaustu Prabhu. We have like this trip. At
no,
least
actually, our counselor says everything else you adjust. That is secondary. Counseling meeting is first priority. That's very, very clear.
Compulsory. That is
Compulsory.
compulsory.
He says, no, 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 no. I don't
I'm,
know about.
I'm not telling you compulsory or not. I know it's
Ah,
compulsory. Like your counseling
so,
meeting is compulsory for you. DVR
ah,
also has some norms. I'm not telling it is you should skip it. Whenever your counseling meeting is planned, you just send a
hmm,
mail to
ah,
Kaustuv Prabhu, me, and Kanagesh Prabhu, informing we have counseling meeting on this day. We need permission
ah,
for missing the class.
yes.
That is protocol.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
going
that's
to skip the counseling meeting. Like Parmeshwar Mataji is going today. Now she should protocol is write a mail to connection to Kaustuv Prabhu. We are not telling don't miss some, don't miss. We know all of the congregation, you have counseling meeting, you have emergencies, you have to go to hospital, you have to go many things, many emergencies come. As soon as if it's not emergency like hospitalization, then that time it's like even if you don't sign it, it's like we'll get to know from somebody. Otherwise, yatras, council meetings, preaching programs, Janmashtamis, I'm not wanting anything from your side. I understand because we also have so many programs. Somehow we have to manage our teachers to come and sit one place for 2 hours and do the sessions. I surely agree with all of you. What is the need is, if you see the protocol of norms we have set for BVR is, anytime you have anything, just send a mail to primary teacher, course coordinator, and the dean. That this is what Roji.
yes, Roji, we can do that. We can send email beforehand.
So what happens is in that case, then it is very clear. Then according to that, that whenever we attend that, that attendance will not be there. You can hear the recording because we have 8 weeks, right? As I told, 75%. Even if you miss one, again, I'm not telling you should miss one. Even if once in a month you have counseling meeting, if you miss it, still there is 7 out of 8. It's much more than it's almost like 80%. Yes, Ashika Mataji, you also are not there yesterday. At least Ramshilpo sent me what? At least SMS was there, what WhatsApp was circulated regarding himself and Rishi Kumar. You just miss it.
Yes, Proji, I actually missed it accidentally. I was slept actually.
Okay.
तो अलार्म इन लगाना भूल गया, रह गया बिल्कुल। एक क्लास के बाद याद आया मुझे ना कि वो क्लास है।
Why I'm telling all these things is आपका सब including all members is it's 10 members. In that, and there are two couples. We had 20 and now it has come to third canto, it is only. So if one of you have some concern, then hardly the speaker comes. At least yesterday there were 10 people, except Ramkishore Point. 4 of you are not there. 9 of them were there. 9, 10 logins was there. But I'm just telling, as we proceed, I'm not telling that it has to be, you don't have to miss it. Yeah, it's compulsory. You should attend it. If CBM meeting is there, this meeting is there, that meeting is there, yes. Just send, as soon as it's decided, you can just send a mail. But best is mail because that seems official. And we can continue the session. And whenever you are there, and whenever you are attending physically, please log in with videos on. And so that if it is 75%, then we will be allowed to eligible to write the exam, and OBS and presentations. What all of you feel are you okay with this? Because this is standard now. I'll try to put it in WhatsApp also. 2022 we had made this now. I'll again send it so that all of you can.
Prabhuji, one more thing was initially we had many more devotees, but then slowly, they conveyed that they are not able to attend content. That's how the batch size has become smaller. So, I mean, I understand, if the batch size is bigger, obviously even the speaker will, feel like, yes, whatever his energy is being consumed, it is being utilized by so many devotees. So, but now, like, is there any like solution? Like, we have very fortunate that His Grace Rishi Kumar Prabhu joined laterally. So maybe if somebody is, I know, I'm sorry, I'm from academic background, there is NEP. That means parallel entry and parallel exit. So if I'm seriously saying that if some modules like he's attending 4 to 6 canto, devotees can be encouraged. So more devotees can laterally join, and because exit is there, I understand. Some people have some problems exit, but if more devotees are there, it will be more enthusiastic. When Rishikor Prabhu, please, you can add.
It's a very good idea. Very, very good idea. What you suggest is very good for interviewing number. Somebody wants to join, they can surely join. As I sent you that WhatsApp, this also now conversation between me and Connection Group. It's a different module. Generally, in Bhakti, other places, Bhakti above 1 to 3 cantos, they have registered, and then after that, again you have to register for the 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
And this is like this service has been done from BVRV side for the community of Pune. Because physically also, if you keep offline, then it becomes difficult to come. So best is online. We all log in this time, attend it, and see, there is only one austerity event with Zoom videos on. You have to attend, because anyway answers close book is questions are very simple. OB you have to write, and then the presentation. And now, like, all of your joins. Some of you okay in summer and other times want to log in out also. Even if there are 7, 8 people, our teachers are quite happy to teach, provided their videos are on. Those videos are off. Even imagine, I also switch off my audio and start speaking. Everybody switches off video. So let's follow these classroom norms, so that we will surely, somebody has any issue, surely they will discontinue. Somebody has a job change, or somebody was fired, or somebody was shifted from somewhere. So most of the issues were regarding the schedules of the companies one, regarding 3 couples dropping out. So we'll continue with this. Thank you for this very wonderful idea. As you told, as Shikumar was joined, even somebody is willing to join, we can keep it, I think, to open till first 2 units. We may circulate also in VVRV. I'll check with Kanakishman and circulate it.
So I would like to request all the participants to kindly spread the message around. It is very, very rare to get the association of, so many great advanced devotees, such great teachers we have had. We are really thankful, Prabhuji. All the teachers are really amazing. We are actually very fortunate, because if we ourselves just read now, it will become a little mechanical. But when we are reading in the group, the discussion that are churned up are very, very vital. So request all devotees to please try to add their friends soon as far as possible.
Yes. And even if nobody is adding in it, at least all of you can be present.
Yes, yes. All of us, we
It
have to
will
try.
give someone. Okay. Hare Krishna. So that was one thing from my side, and we had our unit of booklets 14, 15, 16 onwards. The devotee was making it. He is little sick, so I was we requested Kaustubh Prabhu. He will arrange it very soon. But till that time, whatever shloka tests are pending, whatever previous units OBAs are pending, please try to complete it. As I'm once it starts.
Prabhuji, sorry, one more thing was OBA. Many some devotees have some problem that they have submitted OBA, but the record is not there.
So, for example, Prabhuji, in my case, suppose example, I have submitted all OBAs till 11th or 12th, huh? But when they had shared the Excel sheet in which, which OBA is submitted, which is not, so almost only two are, I can see only two are submitted. So data का कुछ तो problem हुआ है.
Yes.
तो अगर फिर से करना है मुझे हमें सबको तो भी हम सब फिर से भी सबमिट कर सकते हैं.
No. First of all, we'll try to find data will go where it is there in computer only. It has to be simply streamlined.
तो गड़बड़ हुआ है ना. But
Yes, I
And
think
we want
BBRB has
Prabhuji.
BBRB is this clerical staff now. They keep on changing in 6 months, 7 months.
So Prabhuji, for this batch, we both volunteer to try to streamline it.
Yeah. Otherwise, we have this WhatsApp group now. In that WhatsApp group, once we have this Google Drive. Email is there. See, it can be sent to that mail ID. And OBS PDF is only hardly it will be 200, 300 KB. We made PDF. So it can be sent in that record will be there. And I'll also go and speak with the BVRV Kosovo and inform this thing that the data can be streamlined. So that one can be sent there, one can be sent to this Gmail ID.
Yeah, because this has happened with Sachi Sundari Mataji and others also, na, like
so all of you, after completing your OBS, please make a folder in your own mobile or laptop, OBA unit 1, so that even if the data from here goes off, you don't have to again.
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
And shloka test is conducted May end or June 1st.
Prabhuji, one more thing Apurradhika is saying is, if shloka test can be conducted, because right now holidays are there, and for children, so a little May holiday season, so it will be a little easy for.
Yes, when you want. Next.
May end next.
Other devotees can also speak.
Yeah, third week of May or something, or last week.
Last week of May.
In this.
Is it okay?
Yes, third or last week is okay, Prabhuji. Only thing is, please send the shlokas again, shloka numbers.
Yeah, I can send. We have.
Prabhuji can send.
Yes.
You can send. You can put in the WhatsApp group the shloka numbers. I think they're also asking if ready-made shlokas are there with translation, right? With Word, PDF. Somebody has made? Thumbs up is coming.
Yes, it has already.
Yes, if somebody has made that whole shloka list, you can put it and we'll conduct it. This is third kind of shlokas. Correct? Okay.
Prabhuji, and also if we, get to know our feedback about our OBAs, that is still pending, Prabhuji.
Yeah, whatever was submitted, that evaluation is done.
That is done. But actually, we have submitted all till unit 12.
Okay.
Only 13, 14 is remaining. But we have not got any, we haven't yet received.
We have not got the marks.
Yeah, CBA and OBAs also.
Okay. We'll do it. I'll do it. That will be till May, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd week. By the time you do shloka test, you'll be getting, I'll try my best to make sure you get your marks. So that it's good that if marks are less, and again you can complete that unit's preparation. Otherwise, before we go to 4th canto, let us complete our whole. So anybody has, yes, Mataji.
For shloka recitation, first week of June is it okay for
No,
everyone?
where is comfortable, we'll make like,
Yes.
the fourth week we'll try
June
to
is
keep.
okay.
Those are comfortable
First
in the
week of
fourth week.
June.
Right? Like when shloka test happens, it's like every day 1-2 devotees can give. Because those who are evaluators also, they'll be coming or giving somewhere in 7 to 8 also, that timing.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you want to give in first week of June, it's fine. And last week of May, also it's fine. Anything else?
Prabhuji, one shloka test has been sent on the group,
PDF.
PDF.
Yeah, I saw
Please
it.
The
drop.
shloka test 4, it is called 2.1.3 to 3.25.21.
Just check.
So
Yes.
is that I have sent on the group? So at your convenience, if you can check and give feedback if that is the right one.
Yes, yes. I think you have finished 3 shloka tests, right? Till now?
I think 3 tests have been
So
finished.
this is fourth.
10,
This is the
10,
fourth
10.
one.
Yeah,
Hmm.
10. Yes.
And when will be the presentations, Prabhuji? Like theoretically, technically?
Now, yesterday I announced yesterday. The
What was not there?
shlokas
Oh, sorry.
are there. First canto, second canto, third canto.
Ah,
Shlokas list here, na? 75 shlokas. So first, second, third. So devotees can choose from first and second one verse from that, one shloka. And from third canto, you can choose one shloka and you can prepare a presentation on it.
like a Bhagavatam class.
Yes, and what we expect from it, I'll ask Samarpan Gop to do or somebody to come and speak so that it becomes easy for you to understand personal application, teaching application, mode and mission, and introduction, conclusion. These are the main things. There is a whole detail regarding marking system. Once somebody comes in the future, they will take that discussion on presentation. Mostly we should have it in, we can choose. If you want to choose, then once we finish this first 4 chapters of this 4th canto, we can have this presentation. At least one presentation based on first and second canto.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
any shloka we have to choose.
Yeah, we can choose
As
any
you said, first and second canto one shloka, and the third canto one shloka.
Yes, correct.
So there will be
And
3
are there
presentations.
any guidelines, I mean, Prabhuji, to choose the shloka?
No, you get more to go from. In that, out of first, second canto, whatever verses are there for memorization, you can choose any shloka. What we can do is you can see the shlokas, you can go to the purports, and you can see what what is the content you are comfortable with. So based on that.
And
Prabhuji,
even
can
if
you
it's
give any
nothing-
sample presentation?
There will be presentation on how to give presentation after this 4th chapter.
And Prabhuji, if the shlokas get repeated, is it okay?
No issue. No problem, because we are going to assess devotees' understanding about the shloka. Personal application, preaching application. It's not that the 2 devotees will prepare the same people do. Then questions will come at the end. Why all of you will be having questions. It will be around 45 minutes. 5 minutes prayers, recitation, 20 minutes purport and proper mode and mission, preaching application, personal application discussion. At the end, so 5 plus 20, 25. And remaining conclusion 5 minutes 30, and then 10 minutes question answers 40, and feedback by the evaluator 5 minutes 45.
हरे कृष्णा प्रवितानंद प्रणाम। प्रभु जी, प्रेजेंटेशन में भी प्रीचिंग एप्लीकेशन और पर्सनल एप्लीकेशन आएगा?
Yes, that is how the presentation has to be.
तो बट जैसे टेंपल में लेक्चर होता है तो उसमें तो नहीं
वो तो
आता है।
भागवतम क्लास में देना है ना आपको, वो प्रेजेंटेशन देना है।
प्रभु जी, ये तो ओबी का ही एक्सटेंडेड फॉर्म हो गया एक तरह से।
आप बोल सकते हैं OB is written and this is live demo. Okay, Ramkishore, you wanted to ask something?
Sorry, Prabhuji.
You wanted to ask something?
Yeah, so there are 3 presentations or 2?
2. We have 6 cantos. First, second, if you see the volume wise, the content wise, the first canto, second canto. First canto is only one book. Second canto is only one book, Bhagavatam. It's in big book. Third canto is 2 parts, part 1, part 2. So for 2 cantos, for 2 books, 1 presentation. The content.
Okay.
First, second. Now I'm just telling, first and second is like number of chapters. It's 16, 19 plus 10, 30 chapters. So one presentation on 30 chapters. Rather that will be much more understandable. Third canto
Yes.
33 chapters. Fourth canto 32 chapters. So fourth canto itself has 1 presentation. Fifth canto, sixth canto combined are 33 chapters. Fifth canto, it might be some 15, 16 chapters. I think 20 chapters. And sixth canto is 11, 12 chapters. So fifth, sixth together is like that. So we have 4 presentations for Bhakti Vaibhava.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So we have just finished the section. First section, Sati is requesting Lord Shiva to join her. So we just saw the shloka. She is speaking about 11th verse. Vai etad aschariyam ajatma mayaya vinirmitam bhati gunatrayatmakam tatapi aham yoshid atatva vichyate dinadidrikshe bhavame bhavakshitam. Positioning that this whoever stays in this cosmic world, they are subjected to 3 modes. That is how Maya works. Although she is herself a Maya, but she is speaking how the Maya works. People are subjected to 3 modes. So this truth is fully known to you. Yet I am but a poor woman, and as you know, I am not conversant with the truth. Therefore, I wish to see my birthplace once more. This is what Sati is trying to tell. So now she is known as Dakshayani. Also, she is Sati, but she is Dvaitra Vatsalaha. She is very, very dear to her father. So her name is Dakshayani. Sati knew very well that he was not much interested. Lord Shiva is not our ordinary husband. He is completely different. Prabhupada is joking here. Many times husbands were there who generally are drinking, smoking. Generally, they sell all the ornaments. But somehow she should be fortunate that Shiva is at least not, he at least is not providing, at least he is not selling her ornaments for some other thing. Basically, people who drink, who smoke, in mode of ignorance, they generally, whatever ornaments the one brings, they sell it and they want to enjoy. But Sati should be at least fortunate that husband is not doing like that. That is what Prabhupada writes in the previous purports. Now here, womanly nature is being mentioned here. Basically, it's not a womanly nature, it's about self-realization, and it's whether not self-realization. So Shiva is being highlighted here as he's self-realized, but Sati is telling I'm not self-realized. And Prabhupada highlights on Yoshita. Yoshita Krida Mrage Shubha. Yesterday we discussed on this. So let's not take it a woman as Yoshita. Although Bhagavatam speaks about woman as Yoshita. Why? Because even man can be Yoshita if he is not self-realized. At least in Kali Yuga. In the olden days, at least all the people, at least men, they were supposed to be in Gurukul and trained by their gurus and have dvijas and self-realized souls. But in Kali Yuga, everybody is a Shudra. So it's relevant to everyone, unless otherwise one comes to Bhakti. So Bhakti should be taken as a parameter of deciding whether one is Yoshita or not Yoshita. That we saw yesterday. Pashya prayanti rabhavan yoshito Bhakti Alankrita Kanta Shakavarutasa Yasham Rajadbi Siti Kanta Manditam Nabo Vimanai Kalaham Shapanduvi. Yes. We can one devotee can read three verses so that all our devotees will get. Already it's 3 o'clock now. Yashika Avoja Mataji, please start. I am seeing Horim seeing in the order.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O never born, O blue-throated one, not only my relatives but also other women dressed in nice clothes and decorated with ornaments are going there with their husbands and friends. Just see how their flocks of white airplanes have made the entire sky very beautiful.
So all my relatives are going. So I am not the only one in this condition. Abhava. So Lord Shiva is called as Bhava. But if you see the shloka carefully, there is Abhava. So Lord Shiva should be called as Bhava. Bhuvaneshwar. But he's called Abha. What is the meaning of Abhava? Because Abhava means he is not subjected to threefold miseries. He is not subjected to suffering of the separation from the loved ones. In that way, she is calling him as Abhava. Kanta Saka. Woman here accompanied by the husbands. Urutasaha. Going together. Blue throat one. What is the meaning of blue throated one? When the whole ocean was filled with poison, you drank it and gave them relief. So I'm also so disturbed. I'm so anxious to go to my father's house. And you are not allowing me. So you should also relieve my misery of separation from my father. Since so long, you both have been staying without talking, not going to any programs. So in that way. Yes, Mata, you can read this highlighted one. Sati.
Sati wanted to impress upon her husband that even those who were not related to her father were also going, to say nothing of herself, who was intimately related with him. Lord Shiva is addressed here as a blue throated. Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison and kept it in his throat, not swallowing it or allowing it to go down to his stomach, and thus his throat became blue. Since then, he has been known as Nilakantha or blue-throated. The reason that Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison was for others' benefit. When the ocean was churned by the demigods and the demons, the churning at first produced poison. So, because of poisonous ocean might have affected others who were not so advanced, Lord Shiva drank all the ocean water. In other words, he could drink such a great amount of poison for others' benefits. And now, since his wife was personally requesting him to go to her father's house, even if he didn't wish to give that permission, he should do so out of his great kindness.
So what is being discussed here? Abhavasya. To drink poison, you deliver the whole world from the poison. So at least you should be merciful to me by personally coming with me to my father's house. Although I know you have been having tough time, both of you. That is meaning of Nilakanta. Katam sutaya pitrage kautukam nishamya deha suravarya nerate ningate अनाहुता अभियन्ति सौहृदं भर्तुर्गुरोर्देह कृतश्च केतनम्.
Translation: O best of the demigods, how can the body of a daughter remain undisturbed when she hears that some festive event is taking place in her father's house? Even though you may be considering that I have not been invited, there is no harm if one goes to the house of one's friend, husband, spiritual master, or father without invitation.
When there is closeness, you don't need formal invitation. Where is formal invitation? Everything needed when there is no connection. But in this case, although they are very closely connected, but the case with Daksha Prajapati is something different. He might be a very close relative, but he's very envious of Lord Shiva's position. And he's seeing Dakshayani or Sati from in connection with Lord Shiva. Therefore, uh, Sati has to be a little careful. Since I'm his daughter, how can I remain peaceful? How can the body of a daughter not be stirred to see the festival at her father's house? But you have not been invited. How can we go? So uninvited people go to house of friend, husband, father-in-law, and guru. This is what Chakravarti was mentioning. I am daughter. He is my father. He is doing such a big. It's once in a lifetime. Vajpayee and after that, this Yajna is doing. It's not that it happens always. So therefore, it's not that Sati wanted to go because it's a normal program. It was a very, very big event. And she had not gone for many, many days. But Shiva may ask, you have not been invited. How can we go? Relatives, close relatives, even if not invited, they can go. But next shloka comes. Tamme prasiddhedam amartya vanchitam kartum bhavan karuniko batarhati Vayatmanoridhyam adabrachakshusha nirupitam anugrahana yachita. Sure, relatives go without invited, but there should be love, not hate and envy. But yes, read Mataji.
Translation: O immortal Shiva, please be kind towards me and fulfill my desire. You have accepted me as half of your body. Therefore, please show kindness towards me and accept my request.
Amartya, you are a deva, you're not an ordinary person. So don't do. Also, you have been insulted so heavily. You are a deva, you should forget it. Adabra chakshusha, you are self-satisfied. Now, these are the things which Sati told. Now Maitreya is going to tell to Vidura what happened. Because that is he's narrating it now. Because this past time happened long back. So Vidura is giving live commentary to Maitreya Rishi is giving live commentary to Vidura. So he's narrating now. Rishi Ruacha Evam Giritra Priyaya Vivashita Pratyabhyadatta Prahasan Surutpriya Samsmarito Marmabida Puvagishu Yanahako Vishwasajam Samakshataha. Yes, next. Yes,
The,
Mataji, please read.
the great sage Maitreya said, Lord Shiva, the deliverer of hill Kailash, having thus been addressed by his dear wife, replied smilingly, although at the same time he remembered the malicious, heart-piercing speeches delivered by Daksha before the guardians of universal affairs. Next, Maitreya said, addressed in this. Should I continue, Prabhuji?
No. That's Chakravarti
No.
Pass.
Yeah.
Here, he reminds Prabhupada writes, Chakravarti Thakur writes something here. You can read from here. He made his wife remember the arrows of sharp words.
Okay.
So Lord Shiva is
Yeah.
making his wife remember. As soon as his wife told, अरे close relative बुलाते हैं तो थोड़ा झगड़ा होता है, टूटना होता है, छोड़ देना चाहिए. She told like that. It's a long time Shiva has not visited Daksha or in-law's place. But as soon as this point came, a flashback of what happened in Shiva's mind. That is Chakravarti mentioning here. Please read.
He made his wife remember the arrows of sharp words with which pierce the heart. How can the sharp words of Daksha pierce the heart of Shiva, who is self-satisfied? Since Shiva is the supreme lord, he is certainly self-satisfied. But because he is also related to Tamoguna, sometimes lamentation, illusion, attachment, and hatred manifest in him, with his supreme powers not visible. Though Krishna is always self satisfied because of having prema, he also shows lamentation, illusion, attachment, and hatred in relation to Yashoda, Baladev, and Gopis because of invisibility of his supreme powers. In Shiva, those moods arise from Tamoguna and are filled with an experience of a shadow of grief. In Krishna, those moods arise from prema and are filled with the experience of the highest bliss. Such prema is the ultimate essence of Chittas, Chitta Shakti. These moods cannot be restricted by the Lord's being self-satisfied. However, destruction of demons is the effect of sattva guna alone. Because of mutual friction of gunas, sattva guna destroys tamas and rajas just as light destroys darkness. In this way, Krishna destroys demons since he is Shuddha Sattva. Though the effects of material sattva are also present in him, in the sense that they are handled by him, they do not affect him. This has been explained in the first canto 1.2.23 and will be explained again at the beginning of 7th canto 7.9.37.
Partiality. The Lord is partial or impartial. Same thing now. If this is Chakravarti's commentary, Prabhupada takes as it is. Now, you can read this purport, Mataji, when Lord Shiva heard.
Okay. When Lord Shiva heard from his wife about Daksha, the psychological effect was that he immediately remembered the strong words spoken against him in the assembly of guardians of universe. And remembering those words, he was sorry at heart, although to please his wife, he smiled. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that a liberated person is always in mental equilibrium in both the distress and the happiness of this material world. Therefore, the question may now be raised why liberated personality like Lord Shiva was so unhappy because of the words of Daksha. The answer is given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Lord Shiva is Atma Ram, or situated in complete self-realization. But because he is the incarnation in charge of material mode of ignorance, Tamoguna, he is sometimes affected by the pleasure and pain of material world. The difference between the pleasure and pain of this material world and that of spiritual world is that in the spiritual world, the effect is qualitatively absolute. Therefore, one may feel sorry in absolute world, but the manifestation of so-called pain is always full of bliss. For instance, once Lord Krishna in his childhood was chastised by his mother Yashoda and Lord Krishna cried. But although he shed tears from his eyes, this is not to be considered a reaction of the mode of ignorance, for the incident was full of transcendental pleasure. When Krishna was playing in so many ways, sometimes it appeared that he caused distress to gopis, but actually, such dealings were full of transcendental bliss. That is the difference between the material and spiritual worlds. The spiritual world, there, where everything is pure, is pervertedly reflected in this material world. Since everything in spiritual world is absolute, in spiritual varieties of apparent pleasure and pain, there is no perception other than eternal bliss. Whereas in material world, because everything is contaminated by the modes of material nature, there are feelings of pleasure and pain. Therefore, because Lord Shiva, although fully self-realized person, was in charge of material mode of ignorance, he felt sorrow. Okay.
This is a psychological explanation of Lord Shiva's feeling saddened by Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is using the word psychological effect. Basically, mind. Shri Bhagavan Yuvacha Tvayoditam Shobhanam Shobhane Anahuta Abhiyanti Bandushu Teyad Anupadita Dosha Drashtayo Baliyasanyatmamatena Manyuna. Lord Shiva is saying to Sati. That is the first point. This is the second point. Yes, Mother, please continue.
The great Lord replied, My dear beautiful wife, you have said that one may go to a friend's house without being invited. And this is true, provided such a friend does not find fault with the guest because of bodily identification and thereby become angry towards him. Shiva said, Dear wife, what you have said is correct. Uninvited friends go to their friends. If those friends do not see faults because of anger or strong pride caused by identification with the body. Purport. Lord
But
Shiva could
the whole
force
purport is very important. This purport, the next
Lord
one.
Shiva could foresee that as soon as Sati reached her father's house, her father, Daksha, being too puffed up because of bodily identification, would be angry at her presence. And although she was innocent and faultless, would be mercilessly angry towards her. Lord Shiva warned that since her father was too puffed up by his material possessions, he would be angry, and this would be intolerable for her. Therefore, it was better that she not go. This fact was already experienced by Lord Shiva because although Lord Shiva was faultless, Daksha had cursed him in so many harsh words.
Basically, as we discussed also yesterday, Daksha in the first chapter, second chapter of this fourth canto, he is insulting Lord Shiva. He is also telling Brahma's Parameshti, and he gets up and goes. And despite that, Brahma empowered him, made the chief priest, first 10 verses. That is the reason for his becoming more and more proud. Because a person who is not humble and is empowered, that post can make him go crazy. So that has happened to him. So Daksha is already puffed up, and he has been made the main in charge of the sacrifice, and Brahma is empowered him because he has resources. He can do it. And rather than thinking that I'm the servant, his mood is I'm the doer. Because the doership, it is going to his head. So this is very important that whenever we do an activity, any result, any success we get, it's like one proper disciple, Radhishnu was quoting. It's like whenever we get some success, it's like hot potato. Potato is very hot. If you catch it in hand, it will burn your hand. But moment we should take it and put it, just push it, push it, push it. Similarly, devotees should send all the glories to Guru and Gauranga, to the Acharyas. So then they will not be very, very proud. The problem here is Daksha thinking that he is sufficient. So therefore, this fact Shiva was able to see, and because of that, Daksha had cursed him in so many harsh words. He told, "Don't go," and he will not be very dear to also his Dutya Vatsala will not be welcoming you. Vidya tapo vittava purvaka kulai. 6 things: Vidya, tapo, education, austerity, vitta, wealth, vapu, beauty of body, vak, vaya, youth, kulai, heritage, satam, pious. So vidya, tapo, vitta, vapur, vaye, kulai, the 6 things. Satam gunai shadbir asakta metarai. Smrtau hatyam vrata man durdrasha. Stabdana pashyanti hidam bhuyasham. So a person's humble, these things can give him a lot of realizations and help him load a lot of accomplishments for pleasure of others. But when a person is too proud of, the same 6 qualities can make him lose his good sense. That is what is being spoken. Yes. Continue. Third shloka. Who's supposed to read? 2 shloka only read, na Mataji? Purva Radhika Mataji, your third shloka is pending, I think.
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, Prabhu, yes, you're better half. Please read.
Although the 6 qualities, just a minute. Yes, Prabhuji, sorry. Although the 6 qualities, education, austerity, wealth, beauty, youth, and heritage, are for the highly elevated, one who is proud of possessing them becomes blind, and thus he loses his good sense and cannot appreciate the glories of great personalities.
So Daksha has all this. Therefore, he's not able to respect Brahma and Lord Shiva. Please read the purport, Prabhu. Chakravarti is mentioning, how is it possible for my father who has wisdom to see faults like a fool? He's so much, he's so qualified, he has become a chief priest. How can he find fault in you? Education, other assets are only cause of problems for the demons. And his mentality is demonic. Whatever he gets skills, he uses it only for destruction. And power of discrimination destroyed. But the 6 qualities, they become blinded by pride. And these 6 things nourish their thought process. How does discrimination become destroyed by those qualities? Because The good quality of devotees become fault for the demons. The demons become so puffed up with these things that how it is ideally in this world there is some good, there is something bad. When a person is accustomed to seeing only bad, it's like there's some problem with that person. And there's one more nature, person sees both good and bad. But he keeps aside the bad and he sees what is good and fans it. And a person is not able to see bad only, but only is able to see good. So there are different kinds of personalities. But the personality who is like Daksha who's trying to find fault in Shiva, that is very Shiva is saying, Chakravarti is mentioning it is like a demonic mentality because Shiva is like milk, but Daksha is feeling that if you put a poison in that milk, the whole milk gets spoiled. So Lord Shiva is explaining this thing that although Daksha might be having all these good qualities like a milk, but this one quality of finding fault in a person who is qualified will make the whole other qualities poisonous. That is what is saying. So milk is sweet. When it enters the snake's mouth, it becomes poisonous. The qualities manifest according to the person. It's not that quality itself are good and bad. Person possessing that qualities is bad. Then the qualities, good qualities also can become bad. Yes, to please read the purport.
It may be argued that since Daksha was very learned, wealthy, and austere, and had descended from a very exalted heritage, how could he be unnecessarily angry towards another? The answer is that when the good qualities of education, good parentage, beauty, and sufficient wealth are misplaced in a person who is puffed up by all these possessions, they produce a very bad result. Milk is very nice food, but when milk is touched by an envious serpent, it becomes poisonous. Similarly, material assets such as education, wealth, beauty, and good parentage are undoubtedly nice, but when they decorate persons of malicious nature, then they act adversely. Another example given by Chanakya Pandit is that a serpent that has a jewel on its head is still fearful because it is a serpent. A serpent by nature is envious of other living entities even though they be faultless. When a serpent bites another creature, it's not necessarily because the other creature is at fault. It is the habit of the serpent to bite innocent creatures. Similarly, although Daksha was qualified by many material assets, because he was proud of his possessions and because he was envious, all those qualities were polluted. It is sometimes, therefore, detrimental for a person advancing in spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, to possess such material assets. Kunti Devi, while offering prayers to Krishna, addresses him as Akinchana Gochara, one who is easily approached by those who are bereft of all material acquisitions. Material exhaustion is an advantage for the advancement in Krishna consciousness. Although, if one is conscious of his eternal relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can utilize one's material assets, such as great learning and beauty and exalted ancestry, for the service of the Lord. Then such asset becomes glorious. In other words, unless one is Krishna conscious, all his material oppositions are zero. But when this zero is by the side of the the supreme one, it at once increases the value to 10. Unless situated by the side of the supreme one, zero is always zero. One may add 100 zeros, but the value will still remain zero. Unless one's material assets are used in Krishna consciousness, they may play havoc and degrade the possessor.
Yes. So therefore,
So, Prabhuji, like this thing is, we have been preached since our beginning of Krishna consciousness. So, this is the purport where Prabhupada has written this. So amazing. We have always been preached so many zeros and ones. So, this is the purport where actually Prabhupada writes. So nice.
So the theory Prabhupada purports, whatever we have been hearing, you'll find everything there.
Yes, yes, Prabhupada.
So, but this is very important part because this is focusing more on self-development than external accomplishments. Actually, for a devotee, uh, the qualities are very, very vital. If the self-development happens very powerfully, automatically the external things which will come, that will be like a byproduct. Yeah, even self-development also comes services. So that is what Prabhupada is writing here, that milk is very nice food, but when touched by any serpent becomes poisonous. So we may have all wealth, beauty, good parentage, and all these things. But if you become little puffed up, that poison is open to the attitude of becoming puffed up, thinking I'm the doer. Lauding or mentality, that can make the whole thing spoil. Therefore, is offering Kunti Mani's prayer here, quoting that she's telling Akinchana Gochanam. Material exhaustion is an advantage for advancement in Krishna consciousness because it will not become puffed up. And again, when difficulties are coming, obstacles are coming, one naturally goes to the Lord. Why this is happening? Why this is happening? But basically, what happens is nature of material world is passion, ignorance, goodness. So goodness stays somewhere, but most of the time it is like passion. And when you do something, get results like it really goes to our head, and people become really proud and they think they are doers. And and okay, a person may chant, read, hear, but it's not very easy to accept that thing that okay, it is given by Lord, it is a blessing. It's not. We can tell it very easily, but it's not so easy to feel it. And because of that, feelingly we can't chant, feelingly we can't read, we can't connect to Krishna conscious message, urgency of this message. Therefore, this mood of Akinchana Gocharam is very, very important. So, if you have Krishna, if the mood of Krishna consciousness is there, that we are humble servants, these assets can become really very wonderful in service of Guru and Gauranga. If the mood of humility is not there, the more these assets are there, that will become an obstacle for our practice. Yes, Rishi Kumar, you raised the hand.
Thank you, bro. It was a wonderful explanation. The purport was very lucid and you gave very nice explanation. So what we understand here is that this proudness is the poison of the snake, right? Okay. Second thing, this example, I'm to say this analogy seems to be fitting at two places. In the earlier places, we have heard about Prabhupada giving example of snake and milk. In case of Mayavadi's purport on the spiritual literature, right? This is the second thing which you can see.
Sanatana Goswami quotes it that any shastras not coming out of Shruti, Smriti, and Nyaya. Any acharya, anybody speaking Krishna consciousness, or somebody trying to hear Vaishnav Mukat Girinam. Because that Vaishnav Mukat Girinam, and when Utpata Eva Kalpate, when two things are there, Sadhana Muslim reports. One is a Vaishnav speaks Krishna consciousness. It is like snake touching milk. Krishna conscious literature, Bhagavata Bhagavatam are very nourishing, but hearing from a Vaishnava, that becomes positive. Second thing, when we don't hear it in parampara, it only creates utpata eva kalpate.
Correct, bro. Yes, thank you.
नैतादृशाणां स्वजनावपेक्षया गृहान् प्रतीयात् अनवस्थितात्मनां ये भाग्यतान् वक्रदिया विचक्षते आरोपितभ्रूभिरमर्शनक्षिभिः. Lord Shiva is continuing. Yes, bro. So 3 verses of Ramakrishna Purana Mataji are over. I think Suryakant Krishna wants to read.
Yes, Prabhuji.
I think yes, Mataji, Brajgori Mataji, please read it.
Okay, Prabhuji. One should not go to anyone's house, even on the consideration of his being a relative or a friend. When the man is disturbed in his mind and looks upon the guest with raised eyebrows and angry eyes.
Lord Shiva is getting the whole flashback of what happened there. Now, so you go to somebody's guest as a guest, and somebody is, instead of giving water, loving affection, if nothing is there, somebody just smiles at you and tells, "Wow!" So become so happy at seeing you, even if they don't give us, and even if they are very poor, you feel so comfortable. It's called as emotional quotient. But here it's completely emotional torture. Seeing with burning, they're going to burn us with their eyes. So the man disturbed in his mind and looks upon the guest with raised eyebrows and angry eyes. This is like low emotional quotient. So that is what Lord Shiva is narrating here. Basically, Bhagavatam speaks all things. It speaks how to become a devotee. It speaks how to be in a relationship. It speaks how one should stay in a relationship with when husband and wife get married, how husband side, wife side. It teaches so many aspects actually. So Chakrut was mentioning even a father of this nature should be rejected. One should not go considering that they're relatives. If one goes, one should go thinking of them as enemies. But even the low-minded have affection for the children and husbands. This is what Shiva is telling and Sati is telling. But even the animals have affection for the children. Even the low-minded have affection for the children. Animals. What are low-minded animals like tiger, lion? They're carnivorous. They also sometimes protect. They will see you with angry eyes and raised brows. But animals like lion and tiger, they may sometimes protect the cubs. But sometimes the same lion and tiger sometimes eats the cubs. That is what Lord Shiva is trying to tell you. Low-minded nature. Yes, Prabhupada will mention that in the purport. Yes, Mataji, please read.
Yes, however low a person may be, he is never unkind to his children, wife, and nearest kin. Even a tiger is kind to its cubs. For within the animal kingdom, the cubs are treated very nicely. Since Sati was the daughter of Daksha, however cruel and contaminated he might be, naturally it was expected that he would receive her very nicely. But here it is indicated by the word anavastita stitaha, that such a person cannot be trusted. Tigers are very kind to their cubs, but it is also known that sometimes they eat them. Malicious persons should not be trusted because they are always unsteady. Thus, Sati was advised not to go to her father's house because to accept such a father as a relative and to go to his house without being properly invited was not suitable.
So Lord Shiva is telling, okay, very good. He's Duitra Vatsala. But because you are my wife now, that Duitra Vatsala is gone, and he will be like a tiger who will be killing his own daughter, own offspring. They are envious. Tatar Tatar Birvna Vatate Shili Mukai Seter Ardit Ardittango Hridayena Duyata Svanam Yata Vakradiyam Turuktibir Divanisham Tapyati Maramatadita. So Lord Shiva is continuing. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
Lord Shiva continued, if one is hurt by the arrows of an enemy, one is not as aggrieved as when cut by the unkind words of a relative. For such grief continues to drain one's heart day and night.
As we mentioning here, such friends are worse than enemies. Limbs pained by the arrows fired by an enemy, like, do not hurt, since one can still sleep. When there's a wound, you get a, what to say, they can give you some injection and the painkiller, it will not pain, but harsh words. There is no painkiller for harsh words, the wound of harsh words. Which painkiller you can apply for an external body, but the harsh words don't cut the body, it cuts the ego. It's true ego, there is false ego. Everybody has one some self-esteem, but when that words cut a person's self-esteem, that no eyes, no painkiller can stop it. So that is what Chakravarti was mentioning. Purport you can read, Mataji. Sati might have.
Sati might have concluded that she would take the risk of going to her father's house, and even if her father spoke unkindly against her, she would be tolerant. As a son sometimes tolerates the reproaches of his parents, but Lord Shiva reminded her that she would not be able to tolerate such unkind words, because natural psychology dictates that although one can suffer harm from an enemy and not mind so much, because pain inflicted by an enemy is natural, but when one is hurt by the strong words of a relative, one suffers the effects continually day and night, and sometimes the injury becomes so intolerable that one commits suicide.
Prabhupada is giving purpose like a psychologist, spiritual psychologist, reason for suicide. So these are very true things which Prabhupada is trying to speak here. So it's so dangerous words. It's very important for parents, for teachers, for gurus, for mentors, for counselors to watch what they speak. Yes, Rishi Kumar, two people raised hands.
Okay, Yakshika Mataji, you can ask, please.
Prabhu, you raised hand first. You can. Although we
Okay,
have
Prabhu, as
ladies
per your order.
although we have ladies first, but then I
Your order.
yes.
Your order. So this is someone is like the Prabhupada says in the purport, it is troubled or beyond it. Is it because of expectations?
You're speaking about Lord Shiva? Now,
No, in general also.
this
Lord Shiva never got disturbed. I'm saying that this is Prabhupada saying this is because a person expects and therefore he doesn't get that and he gets opposite thing and he gets very much disturbed.
See how it is. Basically, when we build a house, now I'll just give an example of explain this. When we have our house, when we have a home, we have mother, we have father, we have relatives, everything. So when we deal with them, the nature of the dealing is it's very, very soothing, loving. Basically, now I'm speaking about normal varnashram, nothing to do with spirituality. Basically, घर गृहस्थी में कैसे रहते लोग, माता पिता, the dealing is caring, protecting. There is basically for elevating a person materially, bodily, spiritually, what it might be if they are devotees. But when the same relative starts behaving very starts behaving very harshly. So as I told, expectation, the whole thought process is that love and care. But instead of love and care, that is the emotion. Instead of that, they're getting a very bitter, harsh emotion. So this is something more on emotional quotient which is going on. That is the reason Prabhupada is mentioning again in psychology. You see, Prabhupada is not mentioning anything about here, anything about thing. He's just mentioning psychology. Basically, that is what. Although we have bodily wound can heal, but the emotional wounds very difficult. Therefore, here literally expectation. Yeah, the expectation of a daughter from a father is love, care. She's saying, okay, what he will do? At least he will just scold me for some time. I'll tolerate it. But he should not understand that she will scold to such an extent that her emotional, whatever she is thinking, she will be drained. It will become a trauma for her. Trauma means you have some capacity of some withholding. Squirrel can lift some 100 grams, but you put some 10 kg on the squirrel, it will collapse. Chutney ban jayega. So that is hard physical thing. But emotionally, words carry weight.
Great, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes, that is it. Yes, Yashika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, what is the root cause of enviousness? Actually, I have seen it in devotees also and non-devotees also.
Yeah. I'll reframe your question. I have seen this envy and all these things in outside also and practicing duty also.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. potential devotees also and practicing devotees also, not pure devotees.
Yes,
That is how our
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Bhakti Brihad Bhagavad Maharaj says.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So basically, the critical expression of envy is nothing but there is a Maharaj, the lecture given, there is a second canto, this topic comes, where Brahma is creating, and then immediately Lord Shiva is created, and immediately starts creation such a way that the living entities start coming and attacking him. So there Prabhupada writes in the purport, the lauding or mentality is a critical expression in envy. The root cause of envy is basically, again, Bhakti Sindhu, there are many answers for this. The root is ignorance. But ignorance that leads to, Ishwar Nishad Prabhupada writes in the end of first purport of the first Om Purnamada verse, the deliberate disobedience to will of God. Deliberate disobedience to will of God, disregarding his proprietorship. This is a root. जान बूझकर भगवान की आज्ञा का उल्लंघन करना, भगवान के शक्ति का उल्लंघन करना. So this is the root. Therefore, it has the root of sin. But again, sin is of many things: lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion. But envy is, what is envy? Somebody is doing better, we don't like it, to the extent that we want to cause harm to that person. Jealousy means, okay, so you are not having it, fine. अंदर ही अंदर हम जलते रहेंगे, ओके मेरे पास नहीं है. But envy means it's a negative emotion. Jealousy, it's like, in one way, I am not having what that person is having. But envy is, let me not have this thing so that that person also suffers. Like most of you might have heard about that. Two neighbors went to God. One neighbor asked so many things. He was asking, and the neighbor was becoming jealous. Sorry, इतना कैसे मिल रहा है, इतना कैसे मिल रहा है. Two neighbors were there. They went to God, and they were they were trying to compete with each other for opulence, bungalow, building, everything. And when the first person went and asked him, he told, okay, he's becoming so rich, everyone. So whatever he is asking, whatever you're giving to him, give me double of that. And he asks one car, he gets two car. He asks one bungalow, he gets two bungalow. Then the second neighbor gets to know that, God, you blessed me, and also you blessed him that whatever you are giving to me, giving double of that, to break my one eye. Like Surya Vishnu was showing like this eyes. And he got both his eyes was broken. This is, and we understood now. So jealousy is, उसके पास कुछ है वो मेरे पास नहीं. Envy means मेरा नुकसान होने दो, मेरे नुकसान होने से उसका डबल नुकसान हो रहा है. So that is negative emotion, which is very dangerous. What is the root cause of this? Lauding or mentality. We have envied Krishna. That is the root cause. Yes. व्यक्तं त्वं उत्कृष्टगते प्रजापते प्रियात्मजानम् अशिशुभ्रुमे मता तथापि मानं न पितो प्रपत्स्यसे मदाश्रयत् का प्रतिपत्य यथा.
My dear white complexion wife, it is clear that of the many daughters of Daksha, you are the pet, yet you will not be honored at his house because of your being my wife. Rather, you will be sorry that you are connected with me.
Yeah, it's like she's a pet. Matlab, it's like Duhitra Vatsala. The second chapter, first verse is speaking about Duhitra Vatsala. Like Dakshayani, her name is coming. So many daughters are there, but her only her name is Dakshayani. That means Daksha loves her daughter so much, and daughter also has such affection for the father before getting married. But one person came in between. She got connected to Lord Shiva. So Daksha is so much, can you imagine, Daksha is so much envious of Lord Shiva that the daughter who is so dear to him, she becomes also of no use for him because she's connected to him. That is what Shiva. So Shiva has completely understood psychology of Daksha. And therefore he is able to take a precaution. But somehow Sati is not able to understand the psychology of Daksha. Therefore she's going to undergo suffering now. So therefore Prabhupada is trying hinting here 2-3 times psychology, psychology. So most of the time problem what happens is Daksha is a devotee. Lord Shiva is also devotee. Sati is also devotee. But are all, again, Daksha and Sati are practicing devotees. We see from the lessons we learn from what we can learn from this. So among practicing devotees, there can be anarthas, there can be this kind of thought processes. So therefore, better is we stay, we understand, and like what Lord Shiva is trying to do here, we understood there's a problem. So let's not go uninvited. Let's not invite the problem. Let's stay. But because of material connection, Sati is feeling no, I am here, dear daughter. So he will not do it. But he's saying no, don't think like that. Because you are connected to me, you are going to be upset to the point that you will die. This is a warning Lord Shiva is giving to Sati, his wife. Yes. Read Purport Mataji.
Lord Shiva put forward the argument that even if Sati proposed to go alone without her husband, still she would not be received well because she was his wife. There was every chance of a catastrophe, even if she wanted to go alone. Therefore, Lord Shiva indirectly requested her not to go to her father's house.
Yeah, initially Sati was, if at all you want to, if at all you desire, let's go. She was humble. Slowly versus, let's go together. Now, even if you don't come, I'll go alone. So you're seeing gradation of her thought process. First took permission, then convinced, and now not convinced. Now she's saying, I'll go alone. So basically, she's also telling, if you don't come, I'll go alone. But again, she's convinced that how can Lord Shiva leave her in that too, in that is happening in some long back yuga. Mataji cannot go alone without her husband. So she's thinking, Lord Shiva will come with me. He will send something, but no, she's just walking. So Lord Shiva is very clear. I don't want to get into this. Also, I know what is going to happen now. If I go also, I'll not be able to handle it. And if I don't go also, I'll not be able to handle it. Better that I continue with my sadhana, reading, hearing, and let the time take effect. So this is called as emotional intelligence. पापच्यमानेन हृदोत्तरेन्द्रिया समृद्धिभिः पूरुषबुद्धिसाक्षिणाम् अकल्पयेषं मदिरोधुम् अंजसा परम पदम द्वेष्टि यतासुरा हरिम्. Yes. So you want to give to others? Yes, Rishi Kumar, I think who wants to read? Yeah, can read.
Did I read, Prabhu?
Yes, we can read.
Thank you. One who is conducted by false ego and thus always distressed, both mentally and sensually, cannot tolerate the opulence of self-realized person. Being unable to rise to the standard of self-realization, he envies such persons as much as demons envy the supreme personality of Godhead.
So it's very important for us that to deal with people who are having false ego, it's not very easy. There will be always emotional turmoil. Right now in Kali Yuga, the world is filled with people with big egos. So, like Lord Shiva is showing here, because he's knowing it, therefore saying, okay, this is your call now. So, again, Lord Shiva is telling, false ego, conductor of false ego is always distressed, mentally, sensually. And what he will speak and what he will do. And if somebody is self-realized, like Lord Shiva is simply sitting and meditating on Lord Vishnu, it will come now next. But that is triggering Daksha and bringing the best beast out of him. So Chakravarti was telling Shiva, you must have mentally been somewhat hostile to Daksha. This is what Chakravarti is a Rasika Acharya. Jiva Goswami is a logical Acharya, Tattva Acharya, and the Tattva Sandarbha. But here, Sati and Shiva's dialogue is telling, Lord Shiva, you must be mentally being somewhat hostile to Daksha. Daksha is my father, he loves me, but I think you have taken it very seriously, his insults. Denying this, Shiva swears, Daksha is envious and continually hates me, manufacturing offense to me. He has displayed hatred at this time. Daksha with suffering senses, with heart burning because of powers of yoga, samriddhi, opulence, possessed by person like myself. Lord Shiva is having such opulence. It's not that he had to do something, it's like it's given, but Daksha is seeing Lord Shiva externally and is becoming envious of him. So he displays hatred to me, just as demons hate the Lord. He is unable to ascend to that high position, Parampadam, that I have. But I do not have any hatred for your father. So don't think that I am hating your father. Daksha is hating me because of my position, but he is not able to achieve that position. Therefore, he is envious. Making this oath, Shiva explains, persons like me have the Lord to judge whether our decisions are good or bad. So Lord Shiva is saying again, the decision which I am taking, it's not my decision. Lord Vishnu is a witness for the decisions which I am taking. I'm not taking emotionally. Oh Sati, if you do not believe this, contact the Lord directly by Samadhi for a moment and ask him about my good and bad qualities. This is what Chakravarti was mentioning about the discussion which is happening. So therefore, whenever such emotional, we want to come, when things go emotionally and we have to take a decision, very important decision, better is we pause. Brajbihari Prabhu writes a very nice article from Chopati. He says, put a pause button before taking any decision. If it is becoming very emotional, it's going in an emotional direction, better pause. As soon as you pause, become rational, offer prayer, take guidance, and then come to the conclusion. Yes, so please read the purport. Ishika, the connection is there? Or you are lost? Can you read the purport, the real reason for enmity?
Yes, bro. So I have 2 points to say. Can I, or should I?
Yes, please.
In the logical sense, in our normal speaking also, Marathi it is said, यश उन्नती हे पर मिळालं हे भाग झाला पण ते पचवणं फार अवघड असतं. Which means that if someone gets this post position, opulence, that's one part. But to remain, to digest that is not so easy. That requires sattva actually.
Correct. That requires really sattva. Sattva means
even a passionate person, even a passionate and tamoguna person, by the modes of nature, by some sukriti or whatever, can get these things. But only a sattva person can digest it itself.
True. You understood the essence.
I just remembered. I didn't understand. I just remembered this thing. Our elders used to say these things. I'm just remembering this as
that is there in Prabhupada. Yeah, that is what Prabhupada speaking. That whole golden purport was there, na? Full yellow and highlighted big thing. 1000.
Yeah.
That is essence. What you spoke is essence of that.
Yeah. So one more point I want to say. Just a minute. Someone has come. I have to allow me to just. Sorry, Prabhu. I'm alone. So I have to do. One thing which you are saying regarding Brajabihari Prabhu. Regarding Brajabihari Prabhu, you are saying that regarding that emotions and other things. I heard in one class, I think Gaurang Prabhu or someone saying in relation to Dashrath Maharaja's situation when he offered 2 boons to his wife.
Yes, right. Okay.
Yeah, so I don't remember Gaurang Prabhu or someone, I just heard this long back. So he made this point with reference to some scripture saying that whenever you are in a peak of an emotion, may it be positive or negative, never take a decision.
Yeah.
Someone is very, very happy. He says, chalo mango kya dena, like that, just give. And someone is very much in the negative, he says curse and all these things. So he says, whenever you're in a peak of a decision, emotion, just don't take decision. I said, pause. Just remember this. Wanted to share.
Chakravarti was probably mentioning that only, na? Lord Shiva is doing the same thing here. That better is you can directly contact Lord by Samadhi for a moment ask him about my good and bad quality, because she's thinking that Lord Shiva is envious of Daksha. So he's telling her, now if you think like that, what can I do? You only pause and try to connect with the Lord and try to become rational. Yes.
Thank you. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The real reason for the enmity between Lord Shiva and Daksha is explained here. Daksha was envious of Lord Shiva because of Shiva's high position as an incarnation of a quality of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because Shiva was directly in contact with the Super Soul and was therefore honored and given a better sitting place than he. There were many other reasons also. Daksha, being materially puffed up, could not tolerate the high position of Lord Shiva. So his anger at Lord Shiva's not standing up in his presence was only the final manifestation of his envy. Lord Shiva is always in meditation and always perceives the super soul as expressed here by the words Purusha Buddhi Shakshinam. The position of one whose intelligence is always absorbed in meditation upon the Supreme Personal Godhead is very great and cannot be imitated by anyone, especially an ordinary person. When Daksha entered the arena of Yajna, Lord Shiva was in meditation and might not have seen Daksha enter. But Daksha took the opportunity to curse him because Daksha has maintained an envious attitude towards Lord Shiva for a long time. Those who are actually self-realized see every individual body as a temple of Supreme Personal Godhead, because the Supreme Personal Godhead in his Paramatma feature is residing in everyone's body. When one offers respect to the body, it is not to the material body, but to the presence of the Supreme Lord. Thus, one who is always in meditation upon the Supreme Lord is always offering him obeisances. But since Daksha was not very elevated, he thought that obeisances was offered to the material body. And because Lord Shiva did not offer respects to his material body, Daksha became envious. Such persons being unable to rise to the standard of self-realized souls like Lord Shiva are always envious. The example given here is very suitable. Asuras, demons, deities are always envious of Supreme Personal Godhead. They simply wanted to kill him. Even in this age, we find some so-called scholars commenting on Bhagavad Gita who are envious of Krishna. When Krishna says, Man mana bhava madhutto, always think of me, become my devotee, and surrender to me. The so-called scholars comment that it is not Krishna that you have to surrender. That is envy. The asuras or atheists, the demons, without reason or cause, are envious of Supreme Personality of God. Similarly, instead of offering respect to self-realized persons, foolish men who cannot approach the highest standard of self-realization are always envious, although there is no reason.
Yes. So that is the reason for envy. Yes, Rahul.
Oh, you have a really quick doubt. So it is said that when we are paying obeisances or doing namaskar, actually we are paying the obeisances to the Lord that is present inside the other person's heart, even for us. Is that so?
When we are offering obeisances to deity,
Or when we are respect?
whenever you offer Vaishnavas Dandavat, Panchang Pranam you're offering, or when you just fold hands and we are like this, Prabhupada writing that the super soul is in their heart. This basically what is the meaning of it is, this person who is there, the super soul is present in everybody's heart. Right? So
Yes.
Vaishnavas decorate their body with tilak, kantimala. So they are working on realizing that super soul within our heart, in their heart. And therefore they are realizing it. So when devotees offer Panchang to each other, that is the thing, that super soul is present in the heart, and therefore when they're offering offering obeisances, this person also trying to realize and trying to live in harmony and aligning with the super soul. So Prabhupada is writing here, yes, super soul. We offer it to super soul, but there's so many people who are, all of them are having super soul, and why we don't offer that obeisances to them?
Can I try to go?
Yes, bro.
I heard somewhere it says that suppose, like adding to whatever you point, suppose there is some sannyasi, obviously our heart goes very much and we pay obeisances, full danvat. For a devotee, we may panchang, and for other devotees, we say namaskar.
Yes.
Other persons, like that. So I heard that, please correct me if I'm wrong. He said to the degree that particular living entity has realized the presence of super soul in his heart or body, to that degree we pay obeisances.
That one. That
Is
is
that
what,
okay, bro?
that is what I was telling.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yatha yatha.
Yatha yatha.
Samman yatha yatha you have to give. है ना?
So yeah, basically how you should offer that. Normal option, people are also having super soul, but you don't offer them. You just tell Hare Krishna. But we offer Dandavat Panchang Pranam to Vaishnavas because they are trying to align with the will of the Lord. And as Rishi Kumar told, we offer Dandavat to Sannyasi based on because he has trying to mind, body, soul, he's trying to engage in Lord's service. He's trying to realize more. But the concept here is when you offer Dandavat, we are trying to offer Dandavat to that super soul present in that person's heart who is trying to connect with that super soul based on that.
So, Prabhuji, are we not also respecting the soul
Yes.
along with super soul?
Yes.
Okay.
प्रभु जी बट तब तो हम प्रणाम मंत्र भी बोलते हैं वांछा कल्पतरु
यस, हम प्रणाम बोलते हैं भक्तों को, क्योंकि वांछा कल्पतरु वैसे कृपा सिंधुभ्य वच पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। वो शक्ति उनका कहाँ से आ रहा है? भगवान से आ रहा है. So that devotee is trying to connect with the Lord and trying to realize the Lord, and therefore because of the connection he is able to do that activity. This is one aspect, and Prabhupada is writing here, one is always in meditation. When one offers respect to the body, it is not to the material body, but to the presence of Supreme Lord. In the discussion here, it's based on the Jivatma's realization with the Lord. So the like devotees are trying to practice bhakti, therefore you offer obeisances to them.
बट प्रभु जी जैसे आई मीन जब दो महाराज लेवल के जब दो सन्यासी मिलते हैं तो वो क्या फिर भगवान का प्रणाम मंत्र बोलते हैं उस टाइम?
नहीं, भगवान का प्रणाम नहीं मंत्र बोलते हैं, वो एक दूसरे को आलिंगन करते हैं.
अच्छा.
The relationship there is completely friendly. दो बड़े जब भक्त मिलते हैं, वैष्णव प्रणामी बोलेंगे, वैष्णव प्रणामी बोलेंगे, हरे कृष्णा बोलेंगे. ऐसा दोनों को डिपेंड करता है उनका रिलेशन कैसा है. Some people may just come and embrace, some people devotees may offer dandavats. But the mode here is when Prabhupada is telling you when offer respect to the body, it is not to the material body, but because body is anyway dead. It is to the Supreme Lord sitting in the body, because that body is the temple of Lord Vishnu. इसलिए हम तिलक लगाते हैं ना बॉडी को, because it is representing temple of Lord. Okay, let's go next. 20 minutes more. At least we'll try to complete this chapter. Pratyudgama. Huh? Yeah, we'll recite the shloka. Pratyudgama prashayana bivanda prashayana bivadanam vidiyate sadhumita sumadhyame pradnai parasmai purushaya chetasa guhasayayeva nadehamanine. Yes.
My dear young wife. Someone else read to how it is.
You only last. So
my dear young wife, certainly friends and relatives offer mutual greetings by standing up, welcome each other and offering obeisances. But those who are elevated to the transcendental platform, being intelligent, offers her respect to the super soul who is sitting within the body, not to the person who identifies with the body. Perfect answer. Purport. It can be argued that since Daksha was the father-in-law of Lord Shiva, it was certainly the duty of Lord Shiva to offer him respect. In answer to that argument, it is explained here that when a learned person stands up or offers obeisances in welcome, he offers respect to the super soul who is sitting within everyone's heart. It is seen, therefore, among Vaishnavas that even when a disciple offers obeisances to a spiritual master, the spiritual master immediately returns the obeisances because they are mutually offered not to the body, but to the super soul. Therefore, the spiritual master also offers respect to the super soul situated in the body of the disciple. The Lord says in Srimad Bhagavatam that offering respect to his devotee is more valuable than offering respect to him. Devotees do not identify with the body. So offering respect to a Vaishnava means offering respect to Vishnu. It is stated that as a matter of etiquette, as soon as one sees a Vaishnava, one must immediately offer him respect, indicating the super soul taking within. The Vaishnava sees the body as a temple of Vishnu. Since Lord Shiva has already offered respect to the super soul in Krishna consciousness, offering respect to the staff who identifies with the body was already performed. There was no need to offer respect to the body, for that is not directed by any Vedic induction.
So basically, why Lord Shiva did not get up? For that, Prabhupada is writing, the oblations is basically offered to super soul. Body is a temple of Lord Vishnu. Somebody is realizing it. But Daksha is a completely bodily conception of life. And therefore, and Lord Shiva is already connected to super soul in Samadhi. So there was no need for him to get up and offer him obeisances. But Daksha became very upset because he was bodily concept of life. Sattvam vishuddham vasudeva shabditam yad iyate tatra pumana pavrata satve च तस्मिन् भगवान् वासुदेवो iyadokshjo me namasa vidiyate. Yes. Who else would like to read next 3 verses? Yes, Subhalakshmi Mataji, please read.
I am always engaged in offering obeisances to Lord Vasudeva in pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is always pure consciousness, in which the Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Vasudeva, is revealed without any covering.
Yes. So now we'll go a little behind. We'll just see Chakravarti path. Here, when Lord Shiva told, connect to yourself, put a pause, connect to Vishnu, Sati says, I believe that you do not hate Daksha. However, you should rise from your seat and act humbly in front of your father-in-law. The mutual exchange of greeting that are performed by ignorant people should be performed by intelligent people within their minds acted to Supreme Lord. One should think, Supreme Lord exists in my father-in-law and my husband. Therefore, I offer respect to him. One should not think of the bodies. The unintelligent people greet each other with the bodily consciousness only, since they never remember the Supreme Lord. That is not proper. Because I was absorbed in the lotus feet of the Lord, when Daksha arrived, even if I did not glance at Daksha, by my respect for the Lord, Daksha was respected. But Daksha is ignorant and he became angry without any cause. So now what Chakravarti Thakur is writing here on his commentary. So that is the reason for not offering. Now the Sati asks, how could you be in Samadhi at that time? Shiva says, that cannot be asked, since Samadhi on the Lord is not dependent on me. Because pure devotion service, anytime a person can go in Samadhi. I am dependent on the Lord. I cannot make a rule for when will we appear. He will appear. The spiritual Antakarana, Vishuddha Sattvam is called Vasudeva. So Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam. So when Sattva becomes Vishuddha, at any moment we can be connected to Lord Vasudeva. Yad Puman Apavrata. So spiritual Antakarana is called Vasudeva. Or another meaning is spiritual state, Sattvam composed of the actions of Chit Shakti, is the producer of the Lord's appearance, Vasudeva. Why? It is because in that spiritual mind or state composed of Chit Shakti, the Lord without covering, called Vasudeva, appears. Meaning of the word Vasudeva is he who makes the appearance in the state of Vasudeva, Shuddha Sattva. He appears in pure Antakarana. Thus, Vasudeva refers to my pure Antakarana. Moreover, the Supreme Lord dwells Vasati here, there. Therefore, Antakarana is called Vasu. Because it is completely spiritual, it is called Deva. That is the derivation of the word Vasudeva. The Antakarana, Sattva, the Lord appears, but he is beyond the material senses, Adokshaj. It is served or is particularly meditated upon Vidyate by respects, Namasha, which indicates other services as well. Instead of Namasa, sometimes Manasa is seen. That means the Lord is served by the mind. At that time, I was serving the Lord. Because of uninterrupted service to the Lord, I did not have external awareness. Tell me if that is a fault on my part. Yes. So this is what Chakravarti is telling. Now Prabhupada's purport. Mataji, can you read Prabhupada's purport?
The living entity is constitutionally pure. Asangohi ayam purusha. In the Vedic literature, it is said that the soul is always pure and uncontaminated by material attachment. The identification of the body with the soul is due to misunderstanding. As soon as one is fully Krishna conscious, it is to be understood that one is in his pure original constitutional position. This state of existence is called Shuddha Sattva, which means that it is transcendental to the material qualities. Since this Shuddha Sattva existence is under the direct action of the internal potency, in this state the activities of material consciousness stop. For example, when iron is put into a fire, it becomes warm, and when red hot, although it is iron, it acts like fire. Similarly, when copper is surcharged with electricity, its action as copper stops, it acts as electricity. Bhagavad Gita 14.26 also confirms that anyone who engages in unadulterated devotional service to the Lord is at once elevated to the position of pure Brahman. मां च योगे विचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीतेषां ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते. Before Shuddha Sattva, therefore Shuddha Sattva, as described in this verse, is the transcendental position which is technically called Vasudeva. Vasudeva is also the name of the person from whom Krishna appears. This verse explains that the pure state is called Vasudeva because in that state, Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is revealed without any covering. To execute unadulterated devotional service, therefore, one must follow the rules and regulations of devotional service without desire to gain material profit by future activities or mental speculation. In pure devotional service, one simply serves the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a matter of duty, without reason and without being impaired by material conditions. That is why Shuddha Sattva or Vasudeva, because in that state, the Supreme Person Krishna is revealed in the heart of the devotee. Srila Jiva Goswami has very nicely described this Vasudeva or Shuddha Sattva in his Bhagavad Sandarbha. He explains that Ashtottara 108 is added to the name of the spiritual master to indicate one who is situated in Shuddha Sattva or in the transcendental state of Vasudeva. The word Vasudeva is also used for other purposes. For example, Vasudeva also means one who is everywhere or all pervading. The sun is also called Vasudeva Sabdikam. The words Vasudeva may be utilized for different purposes, but whatever purpose we adopt, Vasudeva means that the all-pervading or localized Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita 7.19, it is also stated Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Factual realization is to understand Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and surrender unto him. Vasudeva is the ground wherein Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is revealed. When one is free from the contamination of material nature and is situated in pure Krishna consciousness or in the Vasudeva state, Vasudeva, the Supreme Person is revealed. This state is also called Kaivalya, which means pure consciousness. Jnanam Sat becomes Kaivalya. When one is situated in pure transcendental knowledge, one is situated in Kaivalya. Therefore, Vasudeva also means Kaivalya, a word which is generally used by impersonalists. Impersonal Kaivalya is not the last stage of realization, but in Krishna consciousness, Kaivalya, when one understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then one is successful. In that pure state, by hearing, chanting, remembering, etc., because of the development of knowledge of the service of Krishna, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All these activities are under the guidance of the internal energy of the Supreme Lord. The action of the internal potency is also described in this verse as apavrita, free from any covering. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his name, his form, his quality, his paraphernalia, etc., being transcendental, are beyond material nature, it is not possible to understand any one of them with the materialistic senses. When the senses are purified by the discharge of pure devotional service, Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Richate, CC Mantra 19.170. The pure senses can see Krishna without covering. Now one may inquire that since actually the devotee has the same material existential body, how is it possible that the same materialistic eyes become purified by devotional service? The example as stated by Lord Chaitanya is that devotional service cleanses the mirror of the mind. In a clean mirror, one can see one's face very distinctly. Similarly, simply by cleansing the mirror of the mind, one can have a clear conception of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita 8.8, Abhyasa Yoga Yukta. By executing one's prescribed duties in devotional service, Chetasa Nam Nigamini, or simply by hearing about God and chanting about Him. If one's mind is always engaged in chanting and hearing and is not allowed to go elsewhere, one can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As confirmed by Lord Chaitanya by the Bhakti Yoga process, beginning from hearing and chanting, one can cleanse the heart and mind, and thus one can clearly see the face of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva said that since his heart was always filled with the conception of Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of the Supreme Lord's presence within his mind and heart, he was always offering obeisances unto that Supreme Godhead. In other words, Lord Shiva is always in trance samadhi. This samadhi is not under the control of the devotee. It is under the control of Vasudeva, or for the entire internal energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead acts under his order. Of course, the material energy also acts by his order, but his direct will is specifically executed through the spiritual energy. Thus, by his spiritual energy, he reveals himself. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.6, Sambhavami Atma Maya. Atma Maya means internal potency. By his sweet will, he reveals himself by his internal potency, being satisfied by the transcendental loving service of the devotee. The devotee never commands, "My dear Lord, please come here so that I can see you." It is not the position of the devotee to command the Supreme Personality of Godhead to come before him or to dance before him. There are many so-called devotees who command the Lord to come before them dancing. The Lord, however, is not subject to anyone's command, but if he is satisfied by one's pure devotional activities, he reveals himself. Therefore, a meaningful word in this verse is adopted. For it indicates that the activities of our material senses will fail to realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One cannot realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead simply by the attempt of one's speculative mind. But if one desires, he can subdue all the material activities of his senses and the Lord, by manifesting this spiritual energy, can reveal himself to the pure devotee. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead reveals himself to the pure devotee, the devotee has no other duty than to offer him respectful obeisances. The Absolute Truth reveals himself to the devotee in his form. He is not formless. Vasudeva is not formless. For it is stated in this verse that as soon as the Lord reveals himself, the devotee offers his obeisances. Obeisances are offered to a person, not to anything impersonal. One should not accept the Mayavad interpretation that Vasudeva is impersonal. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Tapat basis, one surrenders. One surrenders to a person, not to impersonal non-duality. Whenever there is a question of surrendering or offering obeisances, there must be an object of surrender or obeisance.
Big purport. Tate niriksho na pitapi dehakrit daksho mama dvittadanu vrataschahi yo vishvashragyagnagatam varorumam anangasam durvachashakarotira. I think some the other devotee can read. It was a big purport. Mataji read almost like reading 10 verses. Someone would like to read next verses.
Therefore, you should not see your father, although he is the giver of your body, because he and his followers are enemies of me. Because of his envy, O most worshipful one, he has insulted me with cruel words, although I am innocent.
You will obey me if you are an obedient wife. Not only is he your father, but he's also nourished you. Another meaning of that Daksha's future death is indicated. Another meaning of Dehakriti is one who has cuts the body. And he'll also die. Tiro Karot means the scolded. Yes, read the purport for woman.
For a woman, both the husband and the father are equally worshipable. The husband is the protector of a woman during the youthful life, whereas the father is her protector during her childhood. Thus, both are worshipable, but especially the father because he is the giver of the body. Lord Shiva reminded Sati, your father is undoubtedly worshipable, even more than I am. But take care For although he is the giver of your body, he may also be the taker of your body, because when you see your father because of your association with me, he may insult you. An insult from a relative is worse than death, especially when one is well situated.
Yes. So while writing, he is not only giver of the body, he can become taker of the body. An insult from relative is worse than death when one is well situated. यदि व्रजिष्यस्य अतिहया मद्वचो भद्रं भवत्या न ततो भविष्यति संभावितस्यास्वजनात् पराभवो यदा स सद्यो मरणाय कल्पते. Yes.
If, in spite of this instruction, you decide to go, neglecting my words, the future will not be good for you. You are most respectable, and when you are insulted by your relative, this insult will immediately be equal to death.
Yes. Not sure already predicted. If you go, then he'll be like dead. Thus ends the commentary. Here the Bhakti purport ends. For fourth canto, third chapter for Acharyas. So here we complete our this chapter. Time is also done. 3 minutes we have. Somebody wants to. Thus ends the Bhakti purport of fourth canto, third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Talks Between Lord Shiva and Sati. So now, here he told it will be equal to death. That means Lord Shiva is predicting this is the nature of your father. He may give a giver of your life, but he may take your life also. But still, if you want to go, I cannot stop. It's up to you. If you want to hear, then you become obedient. If you don't, then it's like. So now, it's extreme emotional surcharge. The next chapter begins with that. Sati, after hearing this, she is going out of the residence. She is going inside the room. Her whole body is going inside, outside. Mind is disturbed, like pendulum. So whatever happens in her mind now that exhibits in her body, that's called psychology. Because mind is connected to the senses, subtle body, mind is subtle body, like this is mind, and this eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and all karmendriya, gyanendriya. So based on that, one starts behaving. So that we'll see from next chapter beginning. How Sati, she is completely disturbed. She goes outside, then she fears what will I'll disobey Shiva, then she comes inside. But what about my father? Then she goes out. So it's extreme emotional dealing is going to come next. That is the reason. Because she's emotionally hurt by father, she will burn her body. Hare Krishna. So we'll end now. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So shlokas, Ramakrishna was promptly sent shlokas to all of you. Please do start preparing shlokas for third, fourth, final week of May and first week of June. Meanwhile, choose the from first, second canto choose a verse, and from third canto choose a verse. Go through purports. And I already told pointers, introduction, content, preaching application, personal application, preaching application, mode and mission of Prabhupada, and the conclusion. These are the different things. And I'll share. We will also have the presentation on it, how to give it after this fourth chapter. Mostly next week, the fourth chapter will get over. So mostly next Sunday we'll have this, how to give presentation. Hare Krishna. Thank you. We'll meet next week.